feel like I need to have a chat with Miss Sarah Cameron here because
let's unpack.
She does John B dirty and she cheats on him.
Here's the thing, and that was why I was so scared about the storyline, because I felt like that inherently wasn't in Sarah's nature, and so why I wanted to make it feel like ultimately she was so lost and so confused by what was going on, and when just like John B has been Sarah's home, she gets kicked out of that home figuratively. Where does she go? Like
in the arms of her ex.
She has she has nowhere to go. Like her friend, like she can't stay with her friends, and she runs. She's kind of on her own. And what does that do to someone? And it's hard. And you tend to go towards the person who will welcome you. I think that's a very human thing. I think that's very and it's complicated, just like any relationship is.
Really aren't clear.
I was gonna say it's young too.
Yeah. It's complicated.
On your own at 16.
Yeah, and it's not like it was intentional.
Right.
It was never ever. I think that was my one thing. Like, this cannot just be like straight up Sarah just decides one day to.
Right.
Right.
Cheating is never warranted, but John B does her dirty too. Like the whole conversation at the chateau and the way that he goes about it, I'm not warranting it, but two wrongs don't make a right. And
There's like a lot of back and forth though.
They need to get their together.
Do you think though, at the end of the day, do you think John B and Sarah are endgame by the end of season 3?
I do. I think that's kind of been clear, since day one, in my opinion. But I think just like, fairy tale relationships are wonderful and everybody dreams of it, but they're also still real relationships in real life that deal with real problems, and it's all about how you get through it.
Do you think they're endgame?
I like to think so.
What about the feud with Topper though? I mean, punching your real life friend. That scene in particular, what was that like?
Gosh.
What did you have to channel in that moment?
I had to take Austin out of the equation because we all adore Austin. But it's tough, because you're literally throwing punches that are missing his face by, an inch. And then by the end, when they yell cut, I'm brushing the grass off of his face and making sure his hair is back. And I'm like, are you okay? Holding his face as if I'm gonna kiss him. And I'm like, you good? Okay. And then picking him up, I'm like, I didn't push you too hard. And he's like, no. So it's all love, but yeah, those scenes it sucks, At times it feels real, You get so deep into these characters, and there's so many moments where the lines get blurred. So you kind of got to snap out of it afterwards. And me, Austin, and Mads just kind of sat in the van after that, and we're like, well, that was crazy. I'm glad that's over.
I feel like I need to have a little chat with Miss Cameron because she's in between men here. We've got a little love triangle happening.
Kind of led me on, or led Topper on in a way, huh?
I think she's leading both on. That's the thing. And it's frustrating as a fan to watch because it's like that young love. You teeter-totter between two different people. Yeah. Who do you hope is endgame for Sarah?
Obviously, Topper's not in a good place. I think maybe he needs to move on. I don't know, but obviously all those emotions come back in this season, and it's cool to kind of see them get back to the bonfire with the kooks and kind of a sense of normality. But all those emotions do rush at one time, and I think she's torn in a way. She finally realizes that everything that I've done that seems controlling is all out of love, for her, and we'll see what's to come.
So do you, as Austin, no relation to Topper here, do you, from an outside perspective, want Sarah to end up with Topper? Or do you have a little spot in your heart that you think John B is endgame?
I don't. I'm torn myself. I can't answer that.
I think neither.
I think neither. I don't think any of it's healthy. I don't know. Because she's technically married to John B. and then.
But wouldn't tell Topper.
Wouldn't tell Topper. And
gaslights.
I think she needs to chill.
She's cranking you, dude.
She's cranking.
Maybe she just needs to have a season of herself.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe, just take some time alone.
I can help you. But have to help my son.
We learn at the end of season 2 that John B's dad is alive, but you're going to have an emotional reunion with your TV dad. How is his existence, literally, going to shake things up in season 3?
I think it changes everything. It changes the entire direction of the show. It changes the dynamic between the friends, the relationships, and it really causes a stir. And it'll be interesting to see how the Pogues in the world of this show sort of bounce back from this huge revelation.
It shook a lot up. It was such a huge theme of season 1 for him to have been without his dad and seeing the Pogues be there for him for that. And I mean, when your dad's been gone that long, I mean, I think he maybe built up expectations or something. It's throws a whole wrench in it when he gets back and maybe he's not exactly what John B remembered or expected.
Having him back will like shake up the dynamics between relationships too. And the first thing that came to my mind is John B and Sarah.
Yeah.
Because now there's a father in the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about, you know, like how John B has kind of become, you know, and the Pogues have become Sarah's new home. Like, you know, home and family has kind of been redefined for her. And so I think that that's kind of like, that's been her touchstone, you know, are those relationships and, or are those friendships in that relationship. And I think, you know, when John B's dad comes back into the picture, it definitely shakes things up and like, you know, and how to, like, not hierarchy, but like how to, you know, I don't know, how to handle those two relationships that are obviously priority. So yeah, I think it definitely causes a little bit of tension.
You know the No Love Club?
Yeah.
I quit.
There is a lot of love in the show too with your characters, with Cleo and Pope, because I feel like it's like teeter-tottering. Will they or won't they? Will they or won't they? They grow with this foundation. By the end of season 3, will they be a thing?
I think they're still working through it. I think Pope gives her home. I think Cleo being an orphan and not growing up with a family, I think him and the Haywards really give her a family and something to hold on to. And I think he is her family, and I think he shows her love in a way that she didn't experience, and I think that makes her vulnerable. And I think, you know, maybe she'll find a way to, you know, let her, I think he brings out a softness in her that no one else can.
Then we have Pope and Cleo. Will they or won't they?
I guess fans will have to watch and find out.
No, come on, give me a little something. Are we seeing though like the foundation for a relationship blossom there?
Well, you know, it's like all the best relationships start with really, really good friendships, you know, and they're definitely building that friendship now. And I think, you know, you can start to see a little bit of the sparks, you know, they definitely have a lot of similarities and like their past relationships and like the things they've wanted, you know, she's opening up to him, and I don't think she normally does that with a lot of people, so I definitely could see some sparks fly.
I'm on board. I would love to see that.
You ship it?
Yeah.
You ship it?
Hell yeah, some sparks fly.
Yeah.
I think we all do. That's why I asked, like, will they or won't they? Like,
That's
we
why
want
I'm
a
like,
definitive answer.
Oh, the show gives you that.
Okay. Well, I love that you said the best relationships start as friendships, because we see that with JJ and Key. I mean, talk about building a friendship that evolves into a relationship. I mean, they finally exchanged their first kiss. I love yous. The whole rule of no pogue on pogue macking is totally out the window at this point.
Yeah, again, it was never a rule as much as it was a guideline.
A guideline, yep. Yeah. Where do we see this relationship evolve to?
I think it evolves from a, I think where it's going is a little something where there's a little hope for like just what they're trying to find. And I think JJ's really confused this season. I think JJ's really confused and he doesn't know where he's going in life. And the character that's there from this season is Kiara. And so, you know, I don't know exactly what that means. I don't have my crystal ball, but you know, the writers really clocked it. Yeah, no, you left yours at home.
I was like, wait, are you looking for the crystal ball?
You were imagining something.
Sure.
Yeah, I forgot mine too. But yeah, it's, you know, the writers clocked that something that the fans really wanted that this season. So like, I feel like I'm excited for them to watch it, and I hope they enjoy it.
Will we see Rafe ever find love? Is that a possibility? Or is like that storyline so far off the path of...
I don't know. I mean, yeah, is he capable of it? You know, it's like Rafe has to learn to love himself before he can love anyone else. So I think he needs to go on his own journey before diving into any relationships.
See, that's what we were talking about with Sarah too. Yeah. So maybe the brotherly sister, maybe they can reunite.
The Camerons are off the rail.
Cameras
need help, and they need to. They need. I don't know.
They're the problem.
Yeah.
Topper's
marriage counseling.
Well, speaking of off the rails, though, we do see Topper light the Pogue's house on fire after Sarah betrays him. So I mean, to what lengths will Topper go to also seek revenge? There's a lot happening this season.
Yeah.
Here, there, back and forth.
No doubt. Yeah, you're seeing that side of Topper that I think you saw in season 1, the controlling, doesn't know how to control his anger part of himself. And season 2, I think he was, a little more relaxed, obviously, just kind of wanted to make sure Sarah's okay and she's healthy. And season 3, he got led on. He got his hopes up and completely fell back in love with her, and to see that betrayal was a lot, and that's how he ended up reacting, which is a lot. But we'll see if John B finds out who did it.
When you both read to the end of season 3, what was your reaction and how would you describe it for the fans?
It was emotional. It's emotional.
It is emotional. Yeah. There's like the immediate reaction to be like, oh God, it's coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna end this season. Holy. But I think also exciting just to see how the world's gonna hopefully start expanding. Mm-hmm. It's getting. You think you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, there's no more to do, and then our showrunners have a really good imaginations about ways to further it.
Gold's still out there.
I was literally just gonna ask, do we finally see the gold come home?
Oh.
Ah!